Baartman to Kaizer Chiefs, Asanele Velebayi to Kaizer Chiefs, Edson Castillo leaving Kaizer Chiefs, and Peter Shalulile. Hello and welcome to KNFTV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. We talk about Kaizer Chiefs here, so do make sure to subscribe so that you never miss a video about Kaizer Chiefs. So, in today's news, we start with Baartman. The 20-year-old, who will be 20 in 8 days, is currently a player of Cape Town Spurs. But not really, and we'll get to the technicalities of that because this does not only apply to him. But apparently, Kaizer Chiefs, according to reports by Fapos, by SABC Sport, mainly SABC Sport, this guy has been signed by Kaizer Chiefs. This kid has been signed by Kaizer Chiefs. And what does it bring? He's a right winger. He can also play as an attacking midfielder. Can also play as a center forward. So really, those are the three positions where he plays mostly, or where he played mostly when he was still at Cape Town Spurs. And Kaizer Chiefs are looking to sign him. Which also brings us to his mate. And his mate is Asanele Velebayi. Asanele Velebayi, who's 22, mainly plays as a right winger, and that's the thing that we've been talking about. Chiefs are likely going to sign a right winger, right? And he's the one that they've signed. But him and his mate, Baartman, are in a, precarious situation. Okay, now let me explain. So, structure of SAFA, ne? There is the PSL, Premier Soccer League, right? Premier Soccer League is the top division. Number 2, there's Motsepe Foundation. Those two are under the National Soccer League, which is the professional side of South African football. Once you go to the third tier, or tier, I don't even know, third level, which is the ABC Motsepe League, now you are considered an amateur. And then the fourth tier, which is the Hollywood Bets League, it's also a fourth tier, which means it's amateur. The fifth tier is the one that is basically the local football associations. So those three, the bottom three of the structure of SAFA, are basically amateur. Why am I talking about this and showing nonsense? No, it's not nonsense. It's context. So when Cape Town Spurs were relegated from Motsepe Foundation, that means they were now outside of the NSL, the National Soccer League, which meant now the players that they had could leave them because they did not have a contract with them, because now Cape Town Spurs have basically become an amateur team. And if you're an amateur team, basically players are free to just leave because they don't have contracts unless they've signed a contract with you at that level. But then again, the rule says that a team cannot be signing people on how can I put this? The contracts that you had when you're playing for them as a professional team ceases to exist the moment they become an amateur team. So that means these players are free to leave. But Cape Town Spurs are not buying none of that, because they are saying that these players, they've ordered them to come back to training. And these boys are like, nah, fam, we're not coming back there because you're an amateur team now. And we're in the big leagues. We're going to Netherlands with Kaizer Chiefs. So this might just get a bit complicated, but the law is clear. Everyone knows the law. Well, not everyone, but anyone who knows anything about this thing of structure of SAFA knows that Kaizer Chiefs have the right to sign these players. So there won't be any FIFA bans, there won't be anything. Chiefs can just continue signing these players. Of course, there's going to be a worry of both of these players have just been relegated with the team. So how much can you really trust them? That's a discussion for another day. For now, what we need to know is that there is depth and there are younger players who can come in and be of help, of huge assistance for Chiefs in the next 10 years if Chiefs keeps them that long. Which then brings us to the third story for today, and it's the one that has been looming. Edson Castillo is leaving Kaizer Chiefs. Let me correct myself. Edson Castillo has left Kaizer Chiefs. And no, his contract did not expire. In fact, rumors earlier on in the season said that he extended his contract with Kaizer Chiefs, but then Kaizer Chiefs changed their minds and they've now let him go. It's the same thing with Matlo, it's just that it's reverse. With Matlo, they were planning to let him go and then they changed their minds, now they're keeping him. With Castillo, they extended his contract, but now they've changed their minds and now they're letting him go. Main reason being the fact that obviously he is a foreign player and he will open a foreign spot should Chiefs wish to bring in another foreign player. And given the fact that they are signing Undlovu, they have signed Undlovu, they have Ucele, they have Umart, they have Umtetwa in that 6 role, they then think that he is basically surplus to requirements. So from the business and the foreign sport perspective, it completely makes sense why they let him go. And I saw a post by Tatishi on Twitter, which made something very important. Uguti, when Castillo arrived, he was scoring goals, and that made people go, oh, he scores goals. And then when he wasn't scoring those goals, people were like, well, he sucks now. Why is he not scoring goals? But the dynamics of a team kind of changed, and the number of coaches that we have had have just gone up so much. Like he was played under, he's played under not Baxter, he's played under the other one, I even forgot. Clive Capsh, the other one, Johnson, and then now under Nabi, and he got injured even under Nabi, and he missed like a huge chunk of the season. So I think that it makes sense, only if they bring in another foreigner, because now Chiefs has four foreigners. Ntwari is there, Miguel is there, and then there is Flavio Silva, and then there is Lilepo. So there is a space that is now open, which means Chiefs are going to bring in a foreign player. But that would not be Shalulile, because, well, even if they were to bring him in, he will not count as a foreign player, because even at Sundowns was already registered as a local player. Now, why am I bringing up Ushalulile? Because the article that I looked at, Ushalulile is 31. And then the reports were saying that Chiefs are looking to sign another experienced striker. They have Utuba, who's young. They have Baartman, who's going to be a center forward. There's Flavio Silva now, who's an experienced striker. On top of Flavio Silva, who is that going to be? Because as much as there were talks that Ushalulile had extended his contract with Sundowns, but you check on Transfer Market, it says that his contract expired on the 30th of June. But on top of that, he was not being played at Sundowns, and it's clear that he was signed in a situation of 3 years contract guaranteed with an option for a further 2 years, which seems like Sundowns did not exercise that. Now he's being linked with a move to the Gulf, but sometimes these things never happen, because for whatever reason, people who are representing players who are playing in South Africa are not that good. So players end up just staying in South Africa. But we'll wait and see what happens with Ushalulile, because I feel like if his agents were that great at getting him out of South Africa, they would have done it like 2 years ago when he was at his prime. But they didn't do it at that time. Are they now going to find him a place to go play? I don't know. But me personally, I would say it might be hypocritical, but I wouldn't mind Shalulile coming to Kaizer Chiefs. Proven goal scorer in the league, and he would come to Chiefs wanting to prove more. I know people will say Shalulile is a Sundowns reject, but me, I'm not buying this talk of Sundowns reject, because to me, Ushalulile is one of those players who I will say the only strikers better than Shalulile in South Africa are those who are currently playing for Sundowns. So then if the only people better than him are Ribeiro, who's by the way not a striker but a winger, a 10, is just a forward, right? And Urenas, right? And maybe Motiba. Why then say no to a person who has not been frozen out because it's been like horrible, but has been frozen out because the other people who are just that much better than him? I don't know. You guys will let me know on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Pelumoy.